Hey Lana, good morning. So I want you to see this. This is the pre-shot from the other day at our lesson. I've drawn a couple lines on here, one on your left side, one on your right side in yellow, and then I've drawn two arrows because I want you to watch what your hips do. So it's set up, you're just about 50-50 in your stance, which is fine. You know, we'd like to see maybe a little weight on the front leg, but 50-50 I can certainly live with. It's interesting that you're 84% in your left toe, 53% in your right heel, which is telling me that possibly you're jutting your hips a little bit to the right. It's set up because that's making you stand just that little bit funny. Now with this, first place we want to look going back, and there's a little move right in here that we'll come to in the after video. But right now, I just want to be concerned with this first position, which is about halfway back. We'll call that halfway back. Two things have happened. Look at how much distance we've created right here and how we've slid outside this line on this side. What that tells me is instead of you turning on your way back with your hips rotationally, circularly, whatever way is the right way to say it, you've moved laterally. That weight has moved laterally. You can also tell that because this white dot has moved to the right. You did manage to get 70% of your weight to your right side, but you did it by sliding your hips to the right as opposed to turning. You also notice you have 59% of your weight in that right toe, 41% in the heel. Tells me also that you didn't turn, you slid. From that point, the next thing I want to point out, notice how your left arm is straight here. But if I just go a little bit further forward in this video, look at what's starting to happen to that nice straight left arm. We're starting to lift up, and in lifting up, look at the angle here now. And that angle never comes back. If you were to straighten that on the way back down, if we got the shaft vertical going down and that was back to 90 degrees, I think we could possibly live with it. But what we've done is we've created that bend there. You've stood up. You can see how you're physically standing up more. And I could go back to the beginning. Let's go back to here for a second. So there you are, it's set up. I've got another nifty little thing. Let's put this little circle over your head. That's not a very good circle. Let's put a good circle over your head. There we go, there's a circle over your head. Now, we go to shaft vertical going back. Look at, you're still in there, but then we go a little bit further and look at how your head starts to move in that circle. Now that's all the way back. And the reason you get the club as far back as you do is look at that 90-degree angle. We've got 90 degrees here, 90 degrees there. So that's like what, 3/4 of a square? If I drew a square based on this, we would probably have it. Also, look where your hip is now. It started out there where that arrow is, and it's all the way back here. There was absolutely no hip turn on that whatsoever. And again, 52%, onto your heel instead of about 80 that we would get if we made a turn. So the next spot we're looking for is shaft vertical coming down. Let's see if I can find that. That's a little too soon. Let's call it about right there. It's hard to tell because of the bent elbow, but we'll just call it like right there. So right there, you're back to 50-50. You've made a little bit of a slide, but at this point, I should have 80% of your weight on that left side. It should be over here. At this point in your downswing, that left hip should be all the way over there. And it should also be turning. This right hip should be coming through there too. You've had no hip turn whatsoever. You slid going back, you slid going forward. Then as you come down further, that's your follow through. We don't want to get there yet. Okay, there's where just after you hit the ball, there you've kind of hit the ball. Here's right before you hit the ball. Notice how now everything is straightened out. But in straightening that out, you've really just leaked power. You've really just let the power go. And we get to here where you've just hit the ball. I don't think I can get it right at impact here. That's right, after impact. See the ball right there. It's kind of cool. There we go. Ball's coming off the club. That's as good as we're going to get right about there. Hate it when I can't do something exactly the way I want to. All right, that's as good as we're going to get. Notice how here, your hips are still hardly turned at all. Your weight is going back this way. At this point, I would like that right shoulder up against that yellow line. I would like that right hip up against that yellow line. I would like that left hip completely turned out, and you'd be up on this toe right here facing the target. You're still 94% of your weight is back. And look at how that little dot is just pegged. That dot right there is just pegged in the right side. 61% of your weight is in that toe, 100% into that toe, and there goes the ball. And then from there, we just keep on going. We stay back, weight's starting to move a little bit. We help it up in the air a little bit. See how the arms are bent? And then we just continue to let them turn coming up. And you actually do a good job. See, this is where I want you right after you hit it. This would be where we would want it. This hip still needs to be turned a little more, but you finally get everything out there. You just get it out there way late. So I know you can do it. It's just a matter of when we do it. And that's what we're going to work on. And that's what you'll see in the second video. I think in the days going forward, we're going to have to try to focus more on getting those hips turning and getting the weight moving faster to the front side. It's going to be a little bit of a journey because it's not easy to unlearn what you've probably been doing for years. But if we can get you into more of this position early on, then we will definitely improve your ball striking, and we will definitely improve the distance you get, because we've got to get away from these bent arm scenarios. So I'll send you the other video as well. They're going to come to you with a YouTube link because they're so large I can't send them an email, but I'll make sure you have them both, and we'll plot a course going forward. Thank you very much.